So when I talked about the Seahawks back in July with my season previews, they look destined towards rebuilding in 2022. They traded away their longtime starter, Russell Wilson, to the Broncos for a massive package that included 2 first-round picks and a bevy of players. One of those players was competing for the starting job in Drew Lock, but Pete Carroll turned to former first-round pick, turned backup Geno Smith, who was already on the team. So most people expected Seattle to win about 5 games minimum, one of those people being me, because honestly, they didn't really have much to offer other than DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and not a whole lot of pieces on defense. So it seemed that way when the season came around. It seemed that way despite getting some payback on, ironically, their first game of the season, winning against Russell Wilson and the Broncos. They lost their next 2 games in not really good fashion against the 49ers and the Falcons, starting the season 1 and 2. But they started playing much better after that. They won their next 5 or 6 games because of how much smoother the offense would naturally end up being. Geno Smith suddenly found a stride in limiting his mistakes and finding the right balance between taking the check down and taking the deep shot passes. He was playing really effectively, very surprisingly. And as a result, the receiving game of Metcalf and Lockett became a threatening duo. And it also helped that the emergence of running back rookie Kenneth Walker III also helped balance out the rest of the offense as well and take some of that pressure off of Geno Smith. Not to say that Kenneth Walker will be the next Marshawn Lynch or anything, but he looked like a really effective running back. But the problem was, for as well as the offense did in that good stretch of that 6 game stretch, their defense undid a good part of that good stretch in the second half of the season. The rest of the way, they endured a 3-5 stretch to end their regular season. It was a defense that still had problems of the past. A run defense that was one of the worst in the league. They really couldn't stop opposing running backs, whether it was on first downs or getting big chunk runs. A big example was that overtime loss to the Raiders, where they just allowed Josh Jacobs to just run butt naked to the end zone to lose the game. And there wasn't much pass rush support other than Shelby Harris. And the secondary, that got torched yet again, despite some decent play out of their rookie, Kobe Bryant. Not the basketball player, though. For Seattle, at least, though, they still managed to clinch the last NFC wildcard spot, thanks to some help from the Detroit Lions, who, ironically, they eliminated due to tiebreakers and stuff. But, unfortunately, they almost kept it close against the 49ers in their first round matchup, but they eventually ran out of steam and got run out of the building. Regardless, though, they were a big surprise team in 2022. They went 9-8, had some success to the surprise of many people. And even if they are my team's division rival, I can give them credit where credit is due. They have some players on both ends that look, but I can do pretty well. Like Kenneth Walker III, corners Kobe Bryant and Tariq Woolen, tackle Abram Lucas, who can be a key part of that offensive line. And I can't be too sure about the long-term viability of Geno Smith, but he can be a good mentor. I do believe he could be a good stopgap and veteran mentor for whoever will be the long-term option for the Seattle Seahawks. They may not be too dead after all, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in 2023. So when you look at their offseason so far, they started out with $21 million in cap space. Some of their key unrestricted free agents, fortunately, they didn't have too many of them. Strong safety Jonathan Abram, linebacker Cody Barton, center Kyle Fuller. Some of the offseason moves that they already made, obviously the biggest one being they re-signed Geno Smith to a 3-year contract. So whether he's going to be the starting quarterback, probably he will be, or the Seahawks still go out and get a quarterback, probably, I imagine, in the second or third round. We shall see. But at least for Seattle, they have a starting quarterback for the foreseeable future. We'll see how it pans out. They also got some help in the pass rush by signing defensive tackle Jen Reed and some help on the offensive line by re-signing guard Phil Haynes. They also got some big help in signing defensive tackle Draymond Jones, but they did, as a result, have to release Quinn Jefferson and Shelby Harris on the defensive tackle. Kind of a questionable releasing of Shelby Harris, though. But they did lose linebacker Cody Barton to the Commanders, so they do have to get some help there. So when you have to look at the Seahawks, what else they have to do this offseason, obviously they have to get some help behind Draymond Jones because, like I said, they released Quinn Jefferson and Shelby Harris. You still have to find some help in the interior pass rush and actually the pass rush as a whole, because outside of Draymond Jones and Jaron Reed, it's like, what else do you have? What else do you have in the pass rush? Sure, you have a chance to stop the run a little bit better now, but it's like, what about on the outside? How are you going to get to the quarterback outside the trenches? You got to find a way to do that. They can also certainly use some help at the center position to further strengthen that offensive line. And hey, I forgot about this. They have the 5th overall pick from the Denver Broncos. So certainly not out of the realm of possibility for Seattle to go and get and steal from, I think it's the Lions who have the 6th pick. I keep going back and forth on this. So it's not out of the realm of the possibility for the Seahawks to go and get the quarterback that they potentially could get in this draft. Because Geno Smith, again, I think he said in his presser, like, he doesn't mind if he's the starter or he's the mentor. He wants to help out any way he can. But we'll see. Maybe Seattle should consider using that 5th overall pick to go and grab the best remaining quarterback prospect left. If it's there, go get him. If they like it so much. If not, then maybe go get what they need at that spot. So Seattle definitely, at least right now, they won the Russell Wilson trade in 2022. They put that thought of a rebuild out the window for now. They could potentially continue to do so if they better address the defense for once, which so far they kind of did. And perhaps consider getting a young quarterback to sit and be mentored behind Geno Smith. They have that opportunity with the 5th overall pick. So the 49ers may be the kingpin of the NFC West, at least for right now, for the time being. But let's see what Seattle does, this offseason. I mean, it's not guaranteed that, they're going to overtake the 49ers. And it's not me saying that because I'm a Niners fan. But objectively speaking, let's see what Seattle can do this offseason. Let's see what moves they can make. See if they can give the Niners a little scare.